Welcome to San Diego Comic-Con 2023. I am with the cast and creator of Third Eye. Third Eye. Just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Just checking. So
Look at my earrings. I have 4 eyes, but I do have third eye. Isn't that
She's
cute?
so meta. You're so
Felicia Day, London Hughes.
Hello.
Jonah, how
Hello.
you doing, sir?
I'm good. Thanks.
Yo, so London, I gotta talk. We talked about this for just a brief second. This
Yes.
is your first San Diego Comic-Con ever.
Yes, this
First
is my,
time in the
I'm
city.
losing my Comic-Con virginity in style.
Yes.
It's a threesome. I'm loving it.
Well, there you go. That's an exclusive here at Screen Rant. Now, what were you most excited to explore about Comic-Con?
Do you know what? The whole people dressing up thing, that's not really something that we do in England. We're not really dressed up folks. So
Have you not? There's MCM Comic Con.
I haven't been to that one either.
Come
So
with
I'm
me.
looking forward to like the people dressing up. And I'm a bit of a secret nerd. So
that's true. I was in London for Star Wars Celebration, and there wasn't as much cosplay
no,
as
we
I
don't
expected.
really do cosplay like that. Real life is hard enough for people in England. We don't need to dress up as Darth Vader. We are Darth Vader.
They are the evil empire.
That's the life.
Have you given her any advice on
None.
Comic-Con?
Absolutely none.
Give me some.
No, you shouldn't have worn those shoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me? See what I mean?
Listen, you're London. You're fabulous, and I was like, she's gonna bring a note of fabulousness to Comic Con that we don't have. So you are
Really?
cosplaying cool people.
I'm cosplaying a rich lady with high standards.
Right, and then she leaves this
Yes.
room, and she's not even from England.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's the
Yeah.
accent.
Put it
I'm
on.
cosplaying British.
Felicia, let's talk about this for a second.
Great.
Third Eye, what inspired this story?
So this is Third Eye is my television show. It was the one that I wanted to star in, and unfortunately that didn't happen for Hollywood. But so fortunately, years later, after I wrote the pilot, I was able to work with Audible to bring this to life in a full television format. So we're talking, this is a TV show in audio.
That's
it's
amazing.
It's 10 episodes. It's many hours. You know, you're going to be able to take in a whole season of what I conceived of, which was my favorite characters I've ever created. I play Laurel Pettigrew, like a failed chosen one from a fantasy story. London plays Sybil Aurora Moonglow, who is like the most obnoxious fairy princess you've ever met.
Yeah.
She embodies it. And
Embodies.
and Jonah, who is a very good friend of mine from Mystery Science Theater 3000 and many other projects, came in and voice directed, and he's so fabulous. So it really is cinematic. It's crazy world building and very, very funny.
That's incredible. That is so cool. I love audio dramas because, look, when I hear a good audio drama, I will literally just drive in my car for hours upon hours. Just
Oh,
to
you will
finish
do
it.
that when you listen to this.
I love
It
that.
will have you hooked.
Like long flights, this is the perfect
Yeah, no, it's
medium
perfect.
for this stuff. Now, Jonah, talk to me a little bit about the tone and genre of the series, because this mixes fantasy and comedy together.
Yeah, I mean that's something I've always loved. Is like I'm a huge Mel Brooks fan, so anytime you could do comedy and do parody, but like have it be more than a parody. We're not just like making fun of these tropes. We are actually just like making this fantasy story and then adding in jokes. And Felicia has always been really fantastic at that. Something I've always admired is that her ability to like have it be the thing it is, but then also have it be funny. And that was probably like my favorite aspect of like directing it is just like at this point, do we need a joke? No, let's take that joke out. Let's make this feel serious because it's still a sweet moment. And then like it's like let's add some jokes into this part instead. So that was always the best part.
I second that. She does. You are so clever with the dramatic, then funny, then sweet, then funny. Like it's great.
That's
I mean,
incredible.
I love my these characters are so real. And also, this is our first interview. Like, I've worked on this for like 8 years,
Yeah.
5 years with Audible. Like, this is our first interview. I'm so excited to just tell everybody about it. The characters are really important to me, and so they're not just sketch characters.
Sure.
It's comedy,
Nice,
but these are
yeah.
characters. Every single character has an arc, and you're gonna go on a journey with them over the 10 episodes. And I really want everyone to care about the characters and the relationships in a way that you just want to live with them forever.
Well, I mean, you've had these characters in your head forever. Can you talk to me about the casting process for these and how the cast brought the specific thing that you were looking for to the roles?
I mean, I want to be honest with you. Almost every single cast member is somebody I kind of wrote it with in my head, except for London,
Yeah.
because
I'm the wild card.
she's the wild card.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I had an archetype in my head. And Jonah was like, I know this girl London Hughes. And I saw like 30 seconds of one of your stand-up. By the way, she's one of the funniest stand-ups ever. Like, amazing.
Thank you.
And I was like, oh my God, it's Sybil. It's so like you came down on a cloud with those sexy ass legs. And And like she brought so much even more to it. That's the wonderful thing. I wrote a part for Will Wheaton. My friend Sean Astin plays Frank, another one of the leads, a very portly vampire. And another one of the characters who is kind of the catalyst for the show is a young girl named Kate, and she's played by Lily Pichu, who is an incredible, huge, popular streamer, but her passion is voiceover. And once I watched her one time stream, I was like, she's my Kate.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's incredible. You have such a phenomenal cast. That's so cool. Now, London.
Oh, and Neil Gaiman. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that.
Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to drop that
Neil
name.
Gaiman, by the way, narrates the whole thing. Small, it's just a small
Yeah,
little
we'll
bit.
talk
Like
about
it's a narrator. Yeah.
Now, London, what are you most excited? What are you most excited to tease about season 1?
Oh gosh, what can I tease about season 1?
Not much.
Not much. It's not what you expect. You'll go in thinking one thing and leave laughing and being totally addicted. It's going to be your new obsession. I'm excited for all the nerds that will be in my DMs when it drops.
Get in her DMs, y'all.
Literally, I'm just like Sybil in real life, and she is a wild one.
She is wild.
I'm excited about all the new fans I'm going to get. Honestly, it's going to be huge.
And next year at Comic-Con, you'll know the lay of the land and wear better shoes.
Yeah, I will. No, I'll still wear the Boutons at Comic-Con next year.
You follow her Instagram, she's never not wearing some boots.
Yeah.
Okay?
I
Or
love
high heels.
Yeah.
Now, Felicia, can you break down this world of fantasy for us? Because it includes princesses, wizards, and vampires.
Yeah, it does. And that probably is when I pitched it as a TV show, a couple of the executives literally almost puked on the table when I mentioned that because they were so cool. Those guys are unemployed now. I already checked. All right? All those executives don't have a job anymore.
Bye.
So, bye.
That's your mic drop as you walk.
Yeah, all those people who didn't buy this, you're going to regret it. Although you're not in the business anymore. So anyway, what I wanted... Unfettered. What I wanted was I always like to create depth, like I've created gamer characters in the past who are real people. They're not just cliches. And like I took a bunch of tropes and I wanted to make them real in a very grounded way. So this is a fantasy world that's in our world,
Sure.
And what inspired this whole thing was driving past a Cash for Gold shop in Los Angeles. And I was like, who the hell has gold?
Dwarves.
Exactly. And what do they do? They're melting it down. And that's the catalyst for the whole show is like, what if we had this supernatural world around us and it's just hidden? And so just kind of peeling that back, building it over many years to be a real, visceral thing. I want people to listen to this and be like, hey, is that a dwarf shop? Or like, is that person, is that really maybe Baba Yaga? So those are what I want people to like really question and bring the life around us to even more to life.
Now I'm going to look at every Cash for Gold shop
Yeah, they're
in a
dwarves.
completely different way.
Dwarves run Cash for
Who
Gold.
has that much gold?
Yeah,
Like, what are they doing?
I can't believe we're talking about this mainly because yesterday in this room, we were talking about somebody that got a bunch of gold bullion stolen from their house. And I was just like, where are you going to sell that? Like, how are you going to, then they were like, well, they can melt it down and make.
Who?
Also, who just keeps it in a house? Shouldn't you have a castle at that point?
Yeah. He's not here when he was telling us the story.
Yeah.
I was like, what is
It's
going
like,
on?
they get it out of a safe? No, it's under my bed. What are you doing with gold on your bed?
So random.
So crazy. Now, Felicia, can you talk to me about why you wanted to focus on the Chosen One story in past failures?
So I was a former prodigy. I was a violinist, and so as a very young age, I got a full scholarship to college. I was in the Austin Symphony, and I was kind of a prodigy in a way. Not
No, you were a prodigy.
I was
Don't
a
have to
low-level
humble,
prodigy.
No, don't humble
Okay.
yourself.
Okay. Anyway, and then also
She was a prodigy.
Yeah.
on the internet, I was kind of like, oh, she's an overachiever. And I realized that drove a lot of me. But also in therapy, I was like, oh, that prodigy syndrome is very destructive for further growth. And you feel kind of frozen in time. And like and I was like, in several ways, I felt like a failure, like I didn't, live up to my potential in some ways, And so I kind of carried that route into this because the Chosen One is such a popular trope. Like you're just anointed. And like really deconstructing that was a very personal, it's a really personal story for me. And I'm really excited for people to kind of see that trajectory and understand, just because you've gotten this blessing doesn't mean it's a blessing. It can be a curse too.
That's incredible. I'm so happy for you that you getting to do this. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Same. I'm proud of you.
No, I'm proud of you. Like this, she brings it to life. I'm telling you.
I love your guys' energy. Now, what did you guys learn from doing an audio drama that you didn't expect through the process?
Can I answer
Yeah,
this one?
please, yeah.
There's a lot more acting than I thought that there would be. Like I'm like, okay, we're in a booth. I'm talking, but there was times where I actually had to like, I'm gone, I'm actually
Yeah.
eating, and like, if there was a video of me in the
Yeah.
booth, like I'm acting so much, like I'm sweating, like like the
I
sound
do-
effects.
I
of
do remember.
me.
Yeah, there was one time you're like, I was like, oh, remember, Lenny, you're running in the scene. You're
Yeah.
like, but I'm just standing here.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
And I love that's what I love about Jonah. Like he is a director and he's done a lot of on-camera stuff. And like I really believe, sometimes audio can feel a little stilted,
Sure.
and
Yes.
it can feel like people aren't in the room together. And for the most part, we actually got a lot of cast together, and we were
Wow.
acting in scenes. And when we aren't, Jonah was there to really make it feel like we were acting with each other in a
100%.
scene, and all those extra efforts, they weren't in the script, but he was able to bring this life to it that felt like people are in a room together and they're in a space together. And I think that's something that I always miss in audio that I think that we're really
Oh
capturing.
no,
here.
we really did. I was fighting demons. I was
Yeah.
fighting, so I was there. I was really there.
I love that.
Like, I really was. When
Yeah.
you fight, was you fight? I was really fighting.
Yeah. That's
She
why
was.
I was in a
You have
separate
to- you
zone.
also
Yeah,
have
we
to
was
do
just,
that.
Get away
I
from
had
her.
to just fight
Yeah.
him because it was
Because
real.
you try to do it without like the moves,
No,
and it doesn't sound
I'm very
right.
method.
Yeah.
So I had to just channel my inner fairy,
I love that.
and that was deep for me, really deep. I went on a journey.
Yeah, and even
Jonah,
in
for-
post, yeah,
For
even
you,
yeah.
I mean, how was that process? What did you learn from doing this process?
I mean, it just the idea of like ways to fill up, because you want when you're like watching something, you need these kind of new elements to kind of stimulate the brain, so people stay engaged and want to keep on paying attention. So in audio, like what are the things you can do there? And it's like sometimes it's intonation on the line delivery, or the back and forth, or even just like someone reacting inaudibly, or that kind of like you have to
Sure.
find these things. But then
She's good at that. You're good
very
at that.
good. Yeah,
Oh,
your stammer is one of the best in the biz.
I mean,
But-
it's not organic. It's organic to me.
Yeah.
So good.
But on
I
top of
was
that, when
saying-
we were doing the post stuff, like thinking of like
yeah.
the sound effects, or like it's like, hey, let's make it so it sounds like this person is pacing back and forth in the room.
Well,
So you have
that's what's
footsteps and you kinda
amazing.
audio,
Yeah, like and that was the process when Audible came, when I got this production schedule. I'm like, why do we have 6 months for post? Like we've been working on the episodes for 6 months, and I think I underestimated, because I've been working. I know sound, like even a little tiny sound can make a joke work where it didn't work. In on-camera editing, so much more important, and that kind of attention to detail, especially with the magical fights. I mean,
Magical
Oh,
Vice is
yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine, because I know how hard it is to craft that for the screen, but I can only imagine how much harder that is to do that in audio
It's
format.
actually harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
We actually work harder than
I wouldn't
the
disagree.
normal talent and normal actors in Hollywood, because we have to imagine it for you
Yeah.
and bring it to life for your ears.
Yeah, we
you
want
know?
you to be visualizing when you're
Yes.
listening.
Yeah.
So that's actually way more
Exactly.
talented.
And we didn't wanna have those-
We're way
we
more
didn't ha-
talented.
We didn't want to have those moments too, where it's like someone has to like say it out loud. It's like, wow, a portal is
Yeah,
opening up.
no.
You want to just hear it so you understand that there is some kind of thing.
Yes.
Happening. And even just something as simple as too is it's like, oh, the door to this place should be like a swinging door, and the door from this side should be
yeah.
a beaded curtain, like stuff like that.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
London, I love your energy.
Thanks,
What
babe.
did you want to bring to your role that wasn't on the page?
I didn't need to bring anything. It's
Yeah,
just
you
me.
did. It's
Literally.
just
you. It was weird.
When Jonah said to me, like, I want you to do this, and I read it, and I was like, this is just me. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
even feel like
No.
I need to work. I need to just think like, well, where was my journey? What was I going through? No, it's me. Like, my
I love
opening
that.
scene, I was just like, yep, straight out, done. Like,
Every joke. I mean, there was not anything that it was just adding things. Can you do this? Oh, but then she would add something at the end. It just, I honestly, I laugh more for her. It's her. I did get a note early on in the TV writing process that Sybil's way too more interesting than Laurel, and I had to take it down. And I just basically put it all back in.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you got the wrong girl then.
Yeah,
because
no, you put it in. I put it all back in. I'm like, make her as interesting as
Sybil
possible.
is extra and fabulous, and I'm extra and fabulous. So it was like
a
so
fact.
easy for me to just hone in on my inner fairy. It was great.
That's incredible.
I loved it.
Now, you mentioned earlier that Neil Gaiman is the narrator.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah.
He
Dude is-
plays the narrator.
He
Yeah.
is incredible. Talk to me about working with him and collaborating with him.
I mean, Neil is just an otherworldly specimen. He's like, it's like a deity coming to life. No, he's wonderful. I could not believe, I was trembling when I sent the email. I was like, would you consider, but if it's okay if you don't do it? And he read it, and he's like, I'm doing this only because I think it's excellent.
That's
Yeah.
that's the highest compliment.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. And he did a lot of improv. I will tell you.
Did
that
I?
Yeah,
he
it was
did improv,
wild.
and he added kind of it's a narrator part, and he's an actor. Like, this is not book narration. He is acting. And he embodies this. And as you listen to the episodes, he kind of gets snarkier.
Yes, he
and
does.
Yeah.
a little more
Yes.
self-aware. And he added all of that, just for only performance. It was very amazing.
And it was collaborative too. Like there was like we would kind of give him. It's like, oh, try it like this, stuff that wasn't on the page, and he was very like he wasn't better than it, or he was just he's like, oh, that's. I remember one time I gave him a note. He's like, I was like, oh, say this, and he's like, oh yeah, that's very funny.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I felt
Did
so
you like
good.
burst inside?
I was like, oh man. And then later on, I tried it like another thing. I was like, oh, try say like this, and he goes, no, that's not funny. And then like thought about it some more. He's like, that's not funny at all.
Oh,
and I was
wow.
like, and I got right back to baseline. And then,
Okay, he
brought you
likes
right
to
back
take
down.
you
I
up,
love
bring you
that.
down.
Yeah,
I
but-
never got to meet him, but he's
One day you
amazing.
will.
I thought we were gonna have a rap party. We didn't. So this is the rap party for me.
I owe you a drink.
You
I'm
do.
sorry.
You owe
I
me
did.
several drinks.
Okay.
On the-
Okay.
Well,
On
there's
the
enough
first day,
parties
London
out
was-
here in
yeah.
San Diego where I'm
Yeah, no,
sure
we're
you'll be able to-
partying. On the first day, I
you
literally-
were like, are we going to Comic-Con because of this?
Yes.
This is what this is like. That was like almost a
that
requirement.
was a request.
It was her dream. She said, "It is my dream to go to Comic-Con." I'm like,
Yes,
That-
and she did. So
Um,
yeah.
Now, off subject for a second here. Comic-Con is obviously affected by the SAG and WGA strike.
Yes.
And we at Screen Rant are firm supporters of SAG and WGA.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
have a question for you guys because can you educate our audience and let them know on how the industry, how you want to see the industry changed?
yeah.
I mean, I am not an official spokesperson for SAG. We are definitely here under a different contract, so we are 100% supporter of the strike. There's a lot of upheaval in our industry, and people are not making a living,
Right.
and there's a lot of exploitation, and the
Yeah.
wealth disparity is increasing, and we just want to be able to get the fair deal that we had in other deals. So, I mean, that's all I could say is that everything, if you look down the line, everything is justified and reasonable, and it's time to dig in.
Yes.
So.
My
Yeah.
thing is, I'm a member of WGA and SAG, and
All
so
of us are.
I'm
All of us
double
are.
strike. Oh, you all? We're
Yeah.
all
We're
double
all.
striking, and the reality is just this simple: there'll be no entertainment industry without entertainment.
Facts.
And the reality is, we're not the ones making all the money. The people that don't know how to make entertainment, that are not talented, that are not writing, that are not acting, they're the ones making all the money. And that's what's confusing to me. And I just think it needs to be a level playing field, and the entertainment industry should go back to the entertainers.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And across the board too, with all labor, like IATSE and Teamsters,
Yeah.
like everybody that's there, everyone that's doing those terrible turnarounds. It's like it has to just be better working conditions across the board.
I
Yeah,
couldn't
there's a
agree with you
reason
more.
why there's unionization across the country in all sectors. It's because that it needs to happen.
And it's
100%.
not just in America, it's in the UK too. So
Oh,
the
wow.
UK is watching because we're going through it as well. So
Great answers, by the way. Look, I am so excited for this series. I can't believe I have to wait till October 5th.
I know.
to
You
get
can
it
listen
back.
to the first episode right now. It is
Listen to the first episode
Oh, we're
exclusively on
teasing
Audible.
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
the whole
Oh,
episode you can listen to
I didn't even
during
know that.
Comic-Con, audible.com/Third Eye. If you want to listen to the first episode, you can pre-order it right now.
Love
and
that.
yeah, just go check it out.
And October 5th is when we'll see the series release. I can't
Yes.
wait. I cannot wait.
Thank
Thank you
you.
guys so much for your
No
time. I
worries,
really
thank you.
appreciate it.
Oh,
Thanks
yeah.
a lot.
Have enjoyed Comic-Con.
I will. Find me a nerd.
There are plenty of them.
There's plenty of- plenty of-
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
No worries.